Shikues të nderuar, zonja dhe zotrin, mirëmbrëma, mirë se takohemi bashkë në këtë edicion të ri të RTK Prime. Të flasim për dy tema të ndryshme. Në pjesën e parë do të kemi një intervistë me ambasadorin e Gjermanisë në Kosovë, zotin Rode, me cilin do të flasim për qëndrimet gjermane për zhvillimet e fundit në Kosovë. Mr. Ambassador, welcome in RTK Prime show.
Thank you, Bashkim, for having me here again.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I would like to start this interview with the developments in Kosovo, but let's start with what's happening in Middle East, war between Palestine and Israel. How do you see this?
I mean, this murderous and terrorist attack, I think, shocked everybody, that these terrorists going after children, taking hostages, using them as human shield. I think it demands a clear and united response from everybody. And I posted yesterday also on X, a short image of my chancellor where the Brandenburg Gate was illuminated in the colors of Israel, solidarity with Israel. And especially for Germany, solidarity with Israel is one of the foundations of our democracy.
Yeah, but there is a general concern that the conflict may be spread to other countries. Are you also concerned that that can happen?
No, I think this conflict has been started by a terrorist group, and it has to be dealt like this. This is not a war between states. Of course, we know that Iran is supporting these terrorists.
Lebanon too?
Yeah, in Lebanon there are militias, and but this is not at the moment widespread. So I can't look into a glass bowl, but I think the faster these terrorists are rooted out, the easier we can go. The easier we can try to find a political solution. And again, you see also there, if you don't have a solution for a conflict, tensions can always flare up. But this is just a murderous terrorist attack. And for the moment, these terrorists need to be neutralized.
But why you are saying that this is not a war between states? Because we know the official statement of Palestinian government. They say that they have a right to protect themselves.
But who's protecting themselves when you're attacking, for example, a rave concert and killing people there? What kind of attack, what kind of self-defense there? That's not defense, that's a terrorist attack.
But you think that this conflict cannot be spread to other countries?
What I think is, secondary. At the moment, I don't see it, Israel has all the right for self-defense, and that's self-defense, again, don't make a perpetrator a victim and vice versa. And I think we are all in full solidarity with Israel to end this as soon as possible and to free the hostages.
Yeah. A week ago, Kosovo was an important topic in the world because of what happened in north of Kosovo. Is there a risk of losing attention because of what is happening in Middle East?
We are in the midst of a lot of local conflicts. You see what is happening in Azerbaijan, Armenia, Karabakh. You see the conflict in the Middle East, the terrorist attack. But I can assure you that we are focused on trying to foster a solution of this also very long unresolved conflict. Last Friday there was the Western Balkan foreign ministers meeting within the Berlin process. Next Monday we have the summit. So again, my chancellor will come, other leaders will come, and there we want to continue to foster it and to remind especially the protagonists of their responsibilities to refrain from violence and to find solutions.
Okay. Let's talk now more details about Kosovo. Mr. Ambassador, we are more than 2 weeks after the attack in Banjskë. In Pristina they call the terrorist attack. Is it also for Germany, terrorist attack?
We have the EU has classified it as a terrorist attack. My Western Balkan envoy has styled this. I used the expression. You know, it was a murderous, cowardly attack against policemen who were doing their duties, and we call for the punishment of perpetrators. And I hope this will happen. And we have demanded clearly from Serbia to support transparent investigation and to hold the attackers accountable.
But Serbia is doing something else. They arrested Radojicic, and after a few hours, he was released.
Yeah, we see that and we note that, and I think we are still collecting evidence. It's not over. I mean, you see it almost every day. Even the Interior Minister of Kosovo publishes new findings every day. I think that is still too early, but my foreign minister has on Friday, after the foreign ministers clearly stated some expectations we have from Serbia, participate in a transparent investigation,
but
you
do
know,
you believe
reduce
that
the tensions.
Serbia will be transparent in the investigation?
That's our expectation, and if it's not transparent, you know, there might be consequences, but I cannot predict what will happen. But you have seen the clear statement, because this murderous attack on the 24th was really a watershed, and also the clear dimension of weapons found, you know.
Yeah.
As I said already in another interview, these are not just unhappy citizens, this was a military-style attack to create havoc.
Yeah, but who do you think is behind of this attack, behind of that group?
I think I don't have to think. I mean, the perpetrator, Milan Radojicic, said he was behind the attack.
Behind Milan Radojicic, who is?
Some structures probably in Serbia. Probably, I don't know. As I said, there's still evidence to be collected, but the weapons, you know, for sure they didn't come from the moon.
Yeah. Do you think that President of Serbia is behind this? Because 2 days ago he said that Radojicic is his close allies.
Yeah.
But he will not extradite him in Kosovo.
Yeah. So you are asking two different things, what the President of Serbia said and what do I think. I mean, the President has also said, I didn't know anything about it. So his statement is, I'm not involved. As I said, it's difficult to speculate. We have to collect the evidence, and once we have all the evidence, you know, and part of it is, of course, also if Serbia follows the calls of the EU and NATO to participate in that investigation, then we can make our decisions, also political ones.
Yeah. So you are saying that still you have not enough evidences to conclude that Serbia is behind that attack?
Yeah. I mean, if you're still in the process, you know, first you have to collect the evidence, then you have to assess it, and then you make also a political decision. How much are all sides, let's say, contributing in providing the evidence? And so far, I cannot present you with an end result, and I mean, it doesn't lead to anywhere if I continue to speculate. But there are clear demands towards Serbia, and again, the attack was really unprecedented, and we have clearly also stated that the Kosovo police did a very professional job on the 24th.
Yeah, but some details, let's talk about some details, because Kosovo police have shown footage in which this group has attacked North Kosovo, I seen preparing in Serbia, in Kopaonik. Is this enough evidence that Serbia is behind this?
I've seen the footage too, yeah. But governments do not make decisions what they see on social media. Governments make decisions on evidence provided them by government to government. I don't make judgments just based on videos which I see in social media. You know, there's a lot of fake news too. I mean, when it came that Milan Radojicic is in the monastery and later he admitted it, yeah, but you know, professional investigations mean that governments provide other governments with evidence. Yeah. So that's sheer police work, and that has to be done. So don't ask me, please, to judge on social media videos.
Yeah, I'm not talking about social media. There was a press conference of the General Director of Police and Minister of Interior Affairs in Kosovo.
Yeah.
I'm talking for this, not for social media footage.
Yeah, but again, our investigators, I don't know what they have. I'm not a police guy. What kind of evidence have they been presented with? And then you have to assess the evidence. I'm not part of that. So I would ask you kindly for some more patience. I know it is difficult after this weekend. I remember talking to colleagues, you know, they couldn't sleep on the 25th, and, you know, because it brings back all these memories of hot conflict. I fully understand that. But before you come to conclusions, you really have to be quite sure.
So are you talking for one international investigation? Is it necessary, international investigation?
That has been demanded by the government of Kosovo, no? Also, you know, I am the last one who is against an international investigation. If that brings more light, you know, on the case, why not?
Yeah, but you waited for the reaction of Srpska Lista, and they reacted after 3 days, I think. How you saw the reaction of Lista Srpska?
I mean, it came after I said something, and that is for me not very convincing. What they said, you know, in the end, again, you have a law enforcement agency, the Kosovo police, and the perpetrators are being celebrated in a way as heroes or martyrs. That is a bit absurd to me. It's like what happened also yesterday, for example, or yesterday in Berlin, when some locals in Berlin celebrated the Hamas attack against Israel. So that is completely, I would say, that's absurd and really concerning.
I want to go back in 24th of September in that morning, because you, together with other ambassadors of Queen, you meet Prime Minister in that morning. What you was thinking? What is happening? What was your mind on the morning that day?
I mean, that was in the afternoon when the police action was still ongoing, and I think we talked a lot about what I mentioned to you before, that the police did a very professional job, and what is equally important, in very close coordination with the second responder and third responder, ULEX and KFOR.
Was you involved direct? Was you involved direct that day?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Germany as our allies?
No, I mean, it was a clear responsibility of Kosovo police. Kosovo police is the law enforcement agency all over in Kosovo, and ULEX was was monitoring the situation.
Yeah. Now, Kosovo is asking from international community to make a decision to sanction Serbia. It is expected soon to be a decision for sanctions against Serbia.
I can't tell you that. I can only again reiterate, you know, once their evidence has been provided, collected, there might be consequences, but I can't look into a glass bowl.
Yes, but many times you said that there have to be a political solution.
Yeah.
After that, what happened the 24th of September, is everything changed now?
I'm the one here who is answering questions, but I mean, I would question you. And even the worst terrorist attack doesn't alter the basic equation that you need a political solution for unresolved conflicts. So Kosovo, Serbia, all Western Balkan countries want to be part of the EU. In order, and let's limit it to Kosovo and Serbia, in order to come into the EU, as my Chancellor said last year, it's unimaginable that two countries join the EU which do not recognize each other. So membership requires normalization. Normalization requires talking to each other. Talking to each other means you have to engage and continue the dialogue and concretely implement the Brussels-Ohrid agreements, which comprise of different steps. For Kosovo, it consists of starting to implement the Association of Serb majority municipalities. For Serbia, you know, it requires de facto recognition in several steps. As long as we don't get there, how can you get into a political solution, then normalization, and then at one point membership? So nothing has changed in that respect.
Nothing has changed, but in Kosovo, for example, President of Kosovo and Prime Minister of Kosovo said that first must be sanctions for Serbia and then dialogue. No other way. It's difficult, is it, to continue dialogue?
You can require things, but I just laid out to you what is the way forward. And it's difficult to demand from 27 countries to do something in order that you should do so. And you can demand it, but is it realistic? No. You know, normalization again means to talk to each other, get a solution, and the Ohrid implementation of Ohrid is, in our clear conviction, the road to normalization, because it requires the other side to recognize documents, to exchange permanent missions, to stop preventing Kosovo from membership in any international organization, and of course withdrawing from hateful rhetoric, which still continues.
Yes, you talk about association, but has the last attack proved that the association in fact is not for local Serbs, but for criminal gangs and criminal groups?
I'm completely against, let's say, that a political process is hijacked by a terrorist-style attack. We still need a political solution, and I'm sure the vast majority, whether it's Kosovo Albanians or Bosniaks or Serbs, they want to live in peace, you know, as the government, when it came to power, said jobs and justice. When you have a constant climate of crisis, then it won't help anybody, neither the majority nor the minority.
But are you optimistic that dialogue will continue without sanctions for Serbia?
I don't know what will happen. I only can reiterate, you can't put absolute demands. I understand fully the position that this attack really, you know, doesn't mean business as usual. And you see also, I mean, there are a lot of comments. Even I saw Special Envoy Lajčák saying, you know, the measures should be lifted. So there is a change, but for us, the basic equation, also my foreign minister said on Friday, you might not like to hear it, but Pristina and Belgrade need to continue to talk to each other and start implementing the agreements.
Yes, but Kosovo said that they will continue to go in dialogue and to implement the sentiments, but first need to be punishment for Serbia. And this is what I'm asking, if international community, European Union, for example, will do the sanctions for Serbia first and then to see if it's possible to continue the dialogue.
You asked me again the same question. I can only give you the same answer. I can't look into a glass bowl, but I don't think it's realistic to impose ultimatums on the facilitator. You know, you have to talk to each other, and again, the investigation is ongoing.
Yeah, but Prime Minister Kurti, but also President Osmani have said that Mr. Lajčák is not neutral in the dialogue process. Prime Minister Kurti said that Lajčák is taking the side of Serbia. How do you see this?
For us, the facilitator Miroslav Lajčák and his and the High Representative, they have our support. They have tried a lot in the last years, and I don't think it's a way forward to go after the facilitator. There is, at the moment, we have a difficult situation, but rest assured, Lajčák has the full support of the EU.
Yes, he has full support, but do you think that he is neutral in this process?
Otherwise, he wouldn't be a facilitator.
So you support, Germany support Mr. Lajčák
we
fully?
support it. And as you could see from also, I mean, that was before the attack, that the EU, who is basically facilitating the process, in its statement on the 19th, again laid out the expectations we have from Kosovo and from Serbia. Serbia was criticized because it does not implement this energy roadmap. You know, there was harassment against policemen, but we also see that Kosovo didn't implement things which were demanded from Kosovo since the 3rd of June.
Yeah. But now it's difficult situation, and we will see how dialogue will go forward. But is there still risk for destabilization in north of Kosovo, for any other attack?
Again, the 24th also changed things in the way you have seen that KFOR responded. Maybe the other side, we have increased the troop level of KFOR. Even Germany is now thinking of providing extra troops. This is not to internationalize, as the other side might like it, the north of Kosovo. It is to strengthen KFOR's presence and to make sure that maybe, you know, these kind of attacks don't happen anymore, and also to show solidarity with Kosovo. KFOR has a mandate, and, you know, it's now better equipped to fulfill the mandate than before. But again, Kosovo has our support, especially speaking for Germany. You know, you're a sovereign country, and we want you to be part of the European family as soon as possible. And the less conflict there is, and the more political dialogue there is, the bigger the chances are that this process goes faster than, I mean, unfortunately, we have seen in the last years where there was not enough progress. And I mean, again, I've mentioned that also in several interviews. The whole region of the Western Balkans is experienced migration, you know, and when you live in a constant crisis mode, some just pack up and leave. If Europe doesn't come to them, they go to Europe, and this is also true for Kosovo.
Yeah, but what's Germany's position on the statements that KFOR should take control of the north?
Look, I mean, the mandate of KFOR is clear. They only act on the request of the Kosovo side. So you saw it on the 24th. The Kosovo police handled the situation very professional. You know, there was ULEX on the spot monitoring it, but there was no active request from the Kosovo side government to intervene. And I think the Kosovo, I mean, this is one of the few things where both sides are, let's say, on the same line. So the Kosovo government, and I think also the government of Serbia, for different reasons, welcomed the increased presence of KFOR.
Are you still waiting to have election in 4 municipalities in north of Kosovo?
I mean, this is part of the de-escalation, you know, take away the police from the vicinity of these mayors, that the mayors work remote, and then start the election process.
But after 24th of September, do you think same so? And now?
We speak about de-escalation. De-escalation means that you have, elections where everybody takes part. How it comes about, don't ask me that at the moment.
Okay, this was the last question. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much for having me.
Mirë nderuar, ishte kjo intervista me ambasadorin e Gjermanisë në Kosovë. Do të kemi një pauzë shumë të shkurtër, do të kthehemi në pjesën e dytë të flasim për zhvillimet në lindjen e mesme. Qëndroni me ne.